So, time for an album update. First of all, remember that whiteboard I was talking about in the last video? Well, look, you can see it now. Well, I mean, kind of. It's all out of focus and stuff, but that's okay. I don't want to give away all my secrets. Just don't worry about that. Album update. Where am I with this album? Well, I had set a deadline for myself to get all the writing done by the end of September. I'm not quite finished with that, and as you can see, it's definitely not the end of September. But that's okay. I gave myself a little bit of wiggle room on the schedule. Things have been just super crazy, and like I'm honestly surprised I found time to even record this video. But it shouldn't take too much longer on the writing. I only have about 3 songs I think that I need to finish writing, and I've got like 7. I have 7 songs that are completely done, 3 that I'm still kind of working on. Don't know when exactly I'm going to finish those, but that actually kind of touches on what I want to talk about, which is writing music. It's fickle. Probably the hardest thing to do when it comes to music is the actual scheduling of the writing, when you're going to start and finish. At least for me it is. I can't really speak to every single musician out there, but that's definitely been my experience. Because more often than not, what usually happens is I'll sit down with the intention of writing a song. You know, I say, okay, I'm going to work on a song. I'm going to write this thing. And I sit down, I pick up my guitar, nothing happens. And then there are times when I pick up a guitar with no intention of working on anything. Literally just fiddling around. And all of a sudden something really cool happens. I'm like, whoa, that's awesome. I need to write it down. And then I get carried away, and before I know it, an hour later I have a song. And then sometimes the opposite happens. I sit down with the intention of working on a song, and I actually work on it. And I write stuff, and everything's good. So I don't know exactly what's different between those 2 scenarios there. The actual sitting down with intention and the just fiddling around and then something happens. I don't know what the little spark or inspiration or whatever is that is in one of those but not in the other. I've been writing music for about 10 or 11 years or so, and I have yet to find that proverbial switch in my head that turns the inspiration on or whatever, or just go to that place in my head where all the inspiration sits or whatever. I don't know, I've never been able to do that. I'm sure there are musicians that can do that. They can say, I'm going to work on a song today, and they sit down and then they do it. That's awesome. I wish I could do that, but I can't. I'm pretty sure almost every song that I've written that I've actually put out somewhere started life serendipitously. Boy, isn't that a cool word? That initial spark or inspiration or whatever you want to call it always just seems to kind of come out of nowhere. And it's struck like in the weirdest places. I can't tell you how many times I've just been at work and I'll get an idea for a riff or a lyric or whatever and have to like scramble to find something to write it down with so I don't forget it. Because if I don't write it down, I will forget it. I also can't tell you how many times that has happened. And it can be really frustrating to have that happen. To be sitting down in the perfect place where you can actually work and then you're not productive at all. And then other times you can be in an environment that is not conducive at all to writing, and all of a sudden you get all these great ideas and you don't know where they come from. Like I said, writing music, it's fickle, and it can be very frustrating. But here's the funny thing. Writing music, writing a song, is arguably the most satisfying part of the entire process for me, despite how frustrating it can be. I think it's almost that frustration is exactly what makes it so satisfying. The fact that it can take forever to figure out where a song is going to go, or what this verse needs to fit with this chorus, or how many times do we need to repeat this riff, 2 times or 4 times? Do we need to add something to the end of this? Is this too long? Is this too short? But once you actually finish it, you can kind of sit back and like listen to the whole thing all at once in its entirety. It's really cool. It's like building a house. It's like, yeah, it takes a while to get like the foundation laid, and you gotta put up all the walls and do all the interior I don't know how to build houses. My point is, it's very satisfying for me to see something start as just a tiny little kernel of an idea and then watch it grow into this full song, this full thing. It's kind of what I imagine like being a parent is almost. Not quite, obviously. So yeah. I don't know if I would say writing is my absolute favorite part, but it's definitely one of the most satisfying parts. And the only reason I say that it might not be my favorite part is because I also really like recording stuff too. But that'll be for the next video, maybe. So yeah, got 3 more babies to pop out. That's gross. I don't know why I said that. 3 more songs to finish, and then tracking begins, which is a whole other process into itself. Okay, well, that'll do it for this album update. Do all the YouTube things. Or don't. I don't care. Okay, bye.